What's going on, guys? This is my second video for the day. It is June 26, 2018. And just really wanted to touch on where did the idea of cryptocurrency or digital or virtual money or assets or whatever it is that you'd like to call it, where did that come from? Now, a lot of people, most people, or at least in respect to cryptocurrency or peer-to-peer currency like Bitcoin, say it all started with the Bitcoin's white paper, which was published by the mysterious, peculiar Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto, who we don't really know exactly who that is, and there's been like some speculation as to the true identity of the person that we know as Satoshi Nakamoto. And then there's actually been a guy whose name is Satoshi Nakamoto, and people are saying that was him that published that paper. Anyhow, I don't really think that that's important. What's important is the technology, unless the creator of Bitcoin wants to step up and say, hey, yeah, that's my work, then I think credit should be due. In the event that we know that that's actually Satoshi Nakamoto. Nevertheless, I like to think that the idea for virtual currency or cryptocurrency or digital currency, let's not get into the crypto aspect of it, but the idea for virtual currency, well, first off, when you have anytime a digital transfer is made, like when you go to the store and you use your debit or credit card to make a purchase, or you wire money somewhere, I mean, those are just numbers in a computer that are being sent from point A to point B, and they represent a certain value or certain units of a US dollar or whatever the case may be. So actually, I mean, there you have it right there. But I like to think that the idea of virtual money actually started with what is called special drawing rights, which was an idea presented and introduced by the International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, and that was something that was created in 1969. The XDR, or special drawing rights, are supplementary foreign exchange reserve assets defined and maintained by the International Monetary Fund. The XDR is the unit of account for the IMF and is not a currency per se. XDRs instead represent a claim to currency held by IMF member countries for which they may be exchanged. The XDR was created in 1969 to supplement a shortfall of preferred foreign exchange reserve assets, namely gold and the US dollar. And the SDR is something that cannot be held by an individual, but it's like members and representatives of countries that are, kind of in this circle of trust with the IMF, and that's what the SDR is for. But that's kind of, I think that was kind of something that was in the works for a while when we look at algorithms, numbers, barcodes, anything to do with that. You would think that for as long as that's been around, and it's been around for a while, the IBM was working on all kinds of incredible technology since before our time. So there you have it. XDRs is a basket full of currencies. And you kind of see that with some cryptocurrencies as well. You kind of see, what was the name of that most recent one? Komodo. I think Komodo. We'll look that up in a minute. XDRs are allocated to countries by the IMF. Private parties do not hold or use them. The amount of XDRs in existence was around 21.4 billion in August 2009 during the global financial crisis of 2009. An additional XDR of 182 billion were allocated to provide liquidity to the global economic system and supplement member countries' official reserves. By October 2014, the amount of XDRs in existence was 204 billion. So I kind of hold to the view that XDRs in some way, in some shape, kind of helped form the idea of a virtual money, not necessarily cryptocurrency. I think cryptocurrency goes a step or many steps further than an XDR, because actually the idea of cryptocurrency is like completely opposite. It's decentralized, it's peer-to-peer, it's person-to-person. It's not only a select group of banks or select group of people. Nevertheless, I think the person that invented Bitcoin, or people that have not necessarily served to invent or create Bitcoin, but anybody that's ever just speculated and played with the idea of virtual money probably was aware of what an XDR was, and maybe that might have given kind of a nudge or a push to developers in some respect. Anyways, that's just an opinion. But so there you have it. Now, I really want to look up the Komodo, because it's really interesting when we're talking about the XDR, and that kind of made me think of the Komodo coin token. Because the concept almost seems parallel. We provide security, freedom, and independence to all people via blockchain technology in order to create a flourishing, decentralized world. This isn't my coin of the day, because I already did my coin of the day video, but there was something about the Komodo that struck me as being parallel to special drawing rights, or the SDR, which we just talked about. Leader in atomic swap technology. I think that might be it. Komodo is a pioneer. The first atomic swap, enabling secure, direct, person-to-person trading between blockchains. No proxy tokens, no third parties, no escrow services required. I remember reading about the Komodo back in 2014, 2015, and I remember that one of the main points that was emphasized by this token was that, besides being decentralized, as most are, except for Ripple, was that there was kind of like a basket of cryptocurrencies, or actually fiat currencies, which were attached to Komodo, or which at least it was theorized that you can trade between these different fiat currencies and the Komodo. I think that was the initial plan, or at least that which I read. I'm not going to go through the entire website, but anyhow, it's interesting how when you start doing this research, it all kind of connects. Nevertheless, there you have it. That was my little spiel on SDRs, and now the Komodo. And actually, I would definitely look into the Komodo, because it seems like a great platform for exchanging fiat currencies across borders. Okay, folks, so that's my second video for the day. I'm going to keep the videos coming. Big announcements coming soon. P2Ptender.com. Log on, subscribe to the email list. There's also a chat room. Doesn't cost anything to join. And yeah, till next time, folks. Thank you.